What's up, guys? Philly Soccer Page post-game show. Mike's Video. I'm here today with Matthew DeGeorge from Delco Times. Uh, Union drop 2 points probably. The tie 1-1 San Jose. Your thoughts on that one?
It's definitely a tough result, and you can hear it in the locker room. It's not a happy locker room by any stretch of the imagination. It's a tough game where the Union end up probably with the better of play for 70, 80 minutes, but they don't have enough shots on goal, don't really press the issue, especially when they go up a man, and they end up paying for it. And they kind of did a little bit of the same thing last week, not really closing out that game with a third goal. This week, not getting the second against San Jose, it really comes back to bite them. Great goal by Simon Dawkins, but the Union had to kill that game earlier.
I mean, and you could feel that goal coming a little bit too. There was a 10-minute span before that goal where it seemed like San Jose's pushing forward a little bit more, and I think we all expected Philadelphia to keep the ball a little bit better, but San Jose did a good job.
Yeah, they did, and it's really, you look at the possession stats, and we were kind of having the reverse conversation last week when Patrick Vieira was here talking about how New York City FC had all this possession and they only had 2 shots on target. And you're looking at the same thing here with the Union on balance over the game. They finished with 57% possession, only 3 shots on target. But then for that 10-minute stretch, pretty much from I think around the 75th minute, right around Dawkins' goal in the 83rd, they let San Jose get in the game. What Jim Curtin mentioned is that they kind of got caught in between, pushing for that goal maybe too much, pushing not in the right ways, and they got caught trying to get back defensively, and they end up giving up a goal as a result.
I don't think there was a substitution for the Union before the 76th minute, and 2 subs come after San Jose scored. What did you think of the subs tonight? Were they the right subs, and did they come too late?
It's interesting. There's not, when you look at that bench, there were not, I don't think there were a whole lot of other options. I mean, you could have brought in Roland Dahlberg and gotten him on the ball, and that would have been an option earlier. I think Herbers is obviously a reactive move to the goal. They do bring on Ilsinho, and I think in that instance, Ilsinho is kind of the right sub. You want to press the advantage. I don't think Pontius was really gassed, but he's had a kind of a habit of his influence has waned in the second half. So I think Ilsinho coming into the game is not necessarily the wrong move. Not being able to get him the ball and not really pressing the possession while he was in the game really was a problem. I can't remember him getting his first touch before the goal. I think he might have had one, but there really weren't a lot to speak of.
No.
And he's especially a guy that you can get on the ball. He can kind of rag it up and down the touch line, get throws, get corners. They didn't do that. So I don't think it's as much on Curtin for the sub as it is as much on the team not responding to that sub and really bringing him into the 11 the way that they should have.
I think he got tired late in the game, Tranquil Bernardo. But in the first half, he seemed to be everywhere. I mean, he's making runs down the center of the field. He's playing in terrific set pieces. This is by far the longest he's played all season.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of his performance tonight?
I think before the game, Curtin was faced with a pretty tough decision whether to bring Allberg back after the suspension or to go with Barnetta. And I think Barnetta's been the better player this year, to be honest. Allberg's had his moments, and Allberg does produce. He's got the running. He has a certain level of class on the ball. But Barnetta, with his age, he just has a knack to be in the right place. You saw it last week, particularly on that Pontius goal where he makes that great run. Today, he again impacts a game with a set-piece delivery. On the Pontius goal, he had another couple opportunities where he gets guys in, I think, on the chance that Sapong skied over the bar in the 40th. I think that was Barnetta who set the 2 out wide.
It was.
And especially with Godoy and Alashi both on yellow cards early, he really pressed that advantage.
Yeah.
Maybe you could say Curtin needs to bring someone else in and really run at Alashi more after the Godoy, the red, which Barnetta drew. But I think Barnetta has been one of the better players on this team. There's a lot to choose from when you look at that attacking. I guess the attacking 5, Nogueira's been very good. Sapong's been excellent. Pontius has been excellent. But Barnetta's been right there with those guys.
Moving to the defense a little bit, Josh Yarrow gets his 3rd start in a row. Ray Gaddis comes on the left for suspended Fabinho. What did you think of the back line today? It didn't seem like San Jose had that much going for them outside the goal.
It didn't. There was some space that was a little concerning, I think, between Marquez and Gaddis on the left. It wasn't really exploited at all by Quintero, who had a pretty pedestrian game. I think as a whole they did pretty well. I mean, Marquez and Yarrow handled Chris Wondolowski pretty well. Yarrow got into it with him a little bit of chippiness, which
Yeah,
I'm sure endeared
Endear,
him to
definitely endears yourself to the
to
Philly fans.
absolutely anytime you could throw a forearm shiver at they got into it a little bit there. I haven't you haven't seen a lot of cracks in that back line just yet, and I think they're working well with Andre Blake. I think Jim Curtin likes not having to change a back line, and for now they've had six defenders that they've played consistently, excluding Anderson in the first game, and all six of them have done pretty well.
Yeah. Warren Creavalle comes in for Brian Carroll today. It seemed like he covered a lot of ground, not on the ball a lot, which is probably something the Union's
Hmm.
okay with. What did you think of his performance?
He was good. I think when you look at the way the Simon Dawkins goal happens, that in the area, I know MLS soccer will call, that zone 14, that's kind of in his wheelhouse,
Yeah.
so he doesn't escape free of blame from that. But I think the thing that strikes me about Creavalle is that he's so much more composed on the ball, maybe than Carroll is. You saw it a
Yeah.
couple times where he'll spin away from guys or take that extra touch and kind of relieve some of the pressure. He's been really good in that way, and I don't think it's anything new with him. I just think it's the confidence that's kind of growing with him. He's been given an extended run of games by Curtin, probably for the first time since he was in Houston under today's opposing coach, Dominic Kinnear. So he's got that confidence, and he's playing like it, and he's playing pretty well.
I think a lot of people are looking at this game as a bigger test for the Union. You know, they're off to a good start in first place early in the season. San Jose is off to a good start. Did you think the Union passed that big game test today?
I think they did for the first 60 minutes,
Yeah.
but you still can't finish it. It's kind of similar to last week in that, last week is its own distinct test, which is a team that the Union are probably better than 9 times out of 10 and making sure that you get the result. So last week they kind of passed that test, but not with flying colors. I think this week we're kind of in a similar boat. They did a good job of controlling San Jose for most of the game, but you still have to press the advantage, still have to make it work when you go up a man, and they didn't do that. It's a good result to get a point against this team because we do have to put it into perspective. I mean, last year you probably don't get these kinds of results
Yeah.
at home, and even Sebastian Letou said that post game that maybe last year I think he was being a little facetious, but last year maybe we lose that game. But it's true that in the
Yeah.
Union history, we've seen these games go
That's
the
true.
wrong way
Yeah.
very
Many
fast.
times. Yeah.
So at least being able to have the upper hand on a team for an hour to 70 minutes, at least that's a positive to take from this.
All right. I think we'll wrap up there. No Union game next weekend. Midweek against Los Angeles, which will be another tough game next Wednesday. So we'll be here for that. I'm Mike. That's Matt to George. Check him out on Twitter. We'll see you later.